All right, yo, what's up? Welcome to Arch Rivals and welcome to week 1 of the NFL season. The Executive Network is now brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Hit the link in the comment section for a 100% deposit match courtesy of the Executive Network and Underdog Fantasy. Win with the Executive Network and Underdog Fantasy this NFL season. All right, yo, what's up, my man? Retirement Ron, what's going on? A double R, the fantasy exec Corey Parson, and I call him the retirement Ron respectfully as he gets closer to a retirement community. Happy birthday, my brother.
What's up, man? 53 spans.
There you go.
53 spans, bro. You know, and what's crazy is, man, like a lot of my classmates, like a lot of homies I grew up with, they just not making it, man.
Yep.
Like, it's kind of depressing, man. It is, man. I just lost one of my homies, my man June Reed, a.k.a. Black Sauce. Rest in peace, my brother. And his brother, Tom Crawford. They died within weeks apart. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just imagine how their moms feel. Not meaning to get off topic, but like I said, man, I'm just seeing a lot of my homies and a lot of my friends like dying like before the age of 53. So that's tough. But rest in peace, June and Tom. Let's get it going, baby. Thank you for the thank you for the happy B-Day shout out, my man.
No doubt. Coming up on the program today, we want to talk some NFC, AFC, Super Bowl odds, conference championship odds. Get your opinions on that. But I think we got to start with where everybody's starting at this week. What took place on Saturday, you know what I'm saying? I sprinkled the money line, you sprinkled the money line. I think everybody wanted to root for Coach Prime, but Blaze, as soon as the game started and they had that 3 and out and they came down and scored, I was like, oh yeah, they might be, they might have, I'm not gonna say they the real deal, but they might have something.
Mm-hmm. I was talking to somebody this morning, so it's like now since they won, now you gotta, like, people are really careful about what they're gonna say. I'm not. I never. No, I'm just saying. This is the thing. I never counted Colorado and Deion out. I remember what I said last week when we picked the game. I said I want to give it maybe 3 or 4 games. I didn't think that they would adapt that fast. First game, all the transfer portals, whole brand new coaching staff. Everything. Everybody counting them out. I didn't know they would put up that type of performance. That was impressive. Hats off to Deion, but I've never hated. Let me play devil's advocate for a second. That was a huge win. But they also gave up 42 points to a team, although they were TCU and they were ranked 17th. They probably lost about 65% of their firepower on offense. So they gave up 42 points to a team that lost 65% of his firepower on offense. Now, with that said, let's see what they do against USC. And I'm not saying it in a negative way. It was one game.
Okay.
And it was exciting. You know what I'm saying? Actually, it was big for the culture. But let's see what they do against a team that has an offense and a defense. Somebody reminded me last week, I think I said something about Shedeur Sanders and on the show, and I said, I think something to the likes of, well, this ain't the SWAC. But I also said to you too, 70 touchdowns is 70, but 70 touchdowns is 70 touchdowns. I don't care if it's the SWAC, I don't care if it's Division 2. 70 touchdowns is 70 touchdowns. So, like I said, we'll see. Hats off to Deion, hats off to Colorado. Big statement. Got to be careful though, son, because the first game you lose, the media is coming.
Well, they definitely going to do that. So boy. I want to touch on a couple of things, right? Like you played devil's advocate with the turnover on TCU. Colorado whole team was turned over. You know what I'm saying? Another thing they talk about, right? Nobody mentions this. Deion Sanders is a good coach.
Absolutely.
He's a good coach. The team is well disciplined.
Easy.
When the play ends. They get the ball, they come to the huddle, and everybody looks at the sideline at the same time.
Absolutely.
They're a well-disciplined team. He got that thing going quickly. Deion is he's not like a X and O on the board coach.
No, shirt button up and all that. No.
He's a CEO coach.
Absolutely.
He motivates and he hires. You know what I'm saying? And I think he inspires the young men. Is where he's at his best. He's not going to be like Vince Lombardi on the whiteboard, but I think he gets the best out of his coaching staff, and I think he gets the best out of his players and the discipline they play with. They had 6 penalties in that game.
6 penalties.
Six penalties.
That's right.
That's impressive right there. In the
Absolutely.
first game with a brand new team, so you can tell that they're running, that they really know, that he really knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. When I say the only reason why I said the turnover, I guess the point I was trying to make is let's just pump our brakes for a second.
Yeah.
They still gave up 42 points. That's all I was saying. That's all I was saying. They still gave up 42. Let's don't make them world beaters. Let's don't put them in the college football playoffs right now. That's all I'm saying. I have them winning 9 games this year.
Okay, they would take 9 games. So I ask you this: when the top 25 comes out, probably later on today, this is being recorded in the early morning, in the morning. When the top 25 comes out, will they be a top 25 team?
Ooh. It all depends on how the AP feel about Deion. I'm just saying. Yep. I'm just saying. He showed his ass after the game, man. I mean, what I'm saying? He showed it. And I'm telling you, they don't like that, man. They don't like that. They do not like what he did. They don't like it. Let's just call it what it is. Call it what it is.
So
they don't like that.
Now,
they should be ranked. They should be ranked.
So I'm looking right now. Now this is ESPN released their power rankings. This is different than the AP poll, but this is after week 1. And I am down to number 19 right now, and number 19 is Duke. And I haven't seen Colorado yet. I actually think Colorado and Duke would be a pretty good game. Number 21, the Colorado Buffaloes.
That's where they are?
And ESPN's power ranking, number 21.
And the power rankings, right.
Yeah.
Well, what I was saying was if Colorado's ranked, I think it should be ranked anywhere from 22 to 25.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to push them in the teens yet. I mean, listen, like I said, I'm not hating, but I'm also a realist. We've been watching this too long, man. Trust me, man. Look, I'm behind Deion. Trust me, but I'm also I'm not gonna just throw my pom poms in the air like what I'm saying. We still
That's what upsets me, right? So obviously, every time a coach is talking, he's talking to his team. So he wants to keep his team hungry. He wants to keep his team, everybody against us and stuff like that. But Blaze, 90% of the media is rooting for Deion Sanders. Like, everybody's rooting for you. Why are you getting up to the podium like, oh, yeah, do you believe? Oh, yeah, I told you, and you said this, and you did that. To me, that's whack. Head coach shouldn't act like that. And then like, oh, black man doing this is 75% black. Every team is 75% black. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, where's all of this coming from? Like, everybody is rooting for Deion Sanders. Why is he acting like people ain't?
I don't think everybody's rooting for Deion Sanders. I think that number's high. I think 90% is high. I just do. I think probably more like 65.
Okay.
Maybe 6. I know one guy who's not rooting for him with his old ass. Yeah, I said it, college fan, Lee Corso. I mean, bro, he was so. Did you see what he said on?
I didn't see what Lee Corso said.
You didn't see what he said on College Game Day?
I didn't watch Game Day.
Oh, bro, like they had, he was like, that Deion said. When the media starts calling you that before your name, when they put that before your name, that's a problem. That Deion Sanders, listen, he can run his team any way he wants to. I don't have a problem with that. He can do whatever he wants in the building. But it's like, in other words, Lee Corso was letting you know he old school.
Yeah.
He don't like it. He ain't for it. He think it's clownish, behavior. Now what you got to say, Lee Corso, because I guarantee he thought TC. Now, I didn't watch his picks. I didn't watch, when they pick, when they do their picks at the end. But I'm sure he picked TCU, and I think everybody on that
panel was picked
Desmond.
I did see this. No, it was Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee. He sure did. Yes, Colorado. He did. And I'm gonna tell you something. And listen.
Fan of Pat McAfee?
No. And let me tell you something. People can think that I'm being nitpicky, or they always think that black people are being like we're nitpicking.
Yeah.
But Kirk Herbstreit I'm here to tell you right now. This was like right before the show went off. I'm telling you right now. If you think TCU isn't pissed off right now, all they've been hearing about is Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes all summer long, and they just took a bad loss in the championship game last year. Be careful. I'm telling you now. TCU's going to come out angry. They're going to come out. No, they didn't come out angry, and they didn't get fired.
They came out
and they weren't fired.
Yeah, exactly.
3 and out.
The roster does not look as talented as it did last year.
It really doesn't.
That corner is real good. The quarterback, TCU is an average Big 12 team. You know what I'm saying? And they drop out the top 25, so be it. That guy Sonny Dykes can coach, but I'm not tripping off of TCU, and apparently Colorado isn't either. Now, you know who has, and he did a good job on Saturday. You know who has been a big supporter of his since the beginning is Joe Klatt. He was the color commentator during the game. He has a show on Fox. He just brought to the big pregame show as well.
I know who he is. I know who he is.
Joe Klatt was very supportive of Deion getting the job from the beginning and then supporting Deion throughout. Now, Joe Klatt is a Colorado alumni. You know what I'm saying? So that could tie into it. But Joe Klatt has been 100% behind Deion from the jump.
What's funny, that's so interesting you said that. And you don't even know this. I belong to a sports group called Fact Sports. Shout out to my guys in Fact Sports on Facebook. I literally put after the first quarter, I put on my status. Either Joe Klatt bet his money on TCU or he's part of the white media that wants to see Deion fail. See, I don't get what you got. I didn't get that during the game. The energy wasn't the same when TCU did something great versus when Colorado did something great.
Okay.
When Travis Hunter caught that touchdown pass in the end zone again, the one they called back. The one they said that wasn't a touchdown, but they still, I think like the very next play they scored, right? That was like in the first quarter. Oh, you should have heard him. I'm not too sure about Travis. It was just one thing after another, bro. To me, maybe I'm just being sensitive. The energy wasn't the same. The talk, the verbiage wasn't the same as it was when TCU did something great versus when Colorado did something great. Maybe it's me, but when I did write that as my status, a couple of people responded, was like, "Oh, I thought it was just me too." Like I said, man, we hear things differently. So, but that's pretty funny how you brought his name up, and I literally said something about that on Saturday. Yeah, I did.
So, national championship odds, and obviously we're getting carried away talking about national championship.
Deion got everybody geeking.
National championship odds went from 200 to 100, right? But now here's what's real interesting. Heisman Trophy odds. Before the game, Travis Hunter on Instagram put a picture and it said Heisman loading. Before the game, his Heisman number went from 100 to 1 to 30 to 1.
Wow.
Shedeur Sanders went from 150 to 1 to 40 to 1.
I love Shedeur, man.
Son, now it's to the point to where so much money in the last 2 days came in on Shedeur and Travis Hunter. They are the guys with the big handles now. It's really Shedeur, Travis Hunter, and Caleb Williams. Now I'd be putting money on Michael Penix, and I was gonna say
Michael Penix.
Sam Hartman,
Michael Penix,
Notre Dame quarterback. If that Notre Dame machine get rolling, that can take over college football.
Penix gonna be tough, man. I'm telling you, Penix was tough last year. Like the second half of the season, Penix was tough last year for Washington. Yeah, but I like Shedeur, man. Like he's so calm and cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Shedeur, he's just so calm and cool, man. He can throw that rock too.
He can sling it.
He can throw that pill.
He worked with Tom Brady. He can sling it.
Tom Brady over the summer.
He's very well trained. You know who he reminds me of? And people gonna say, "Oh, slow down." He reminds me of Joe Burrow.
Yeah, his pocket presence. And absolutely.
Yes. He is.
Yes, he is.
He's never in a panic mode. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
Very calm, very reserved.
Always calm.
Doesn't turn the ball over. And people say, "Oh, how can you say that from one game?" Well, I went to South Carolina State. I watched Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind throwing on an HBCU game on a Saturday afternoon.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially for all the hot moms in the crowd. Absolutely. You better believe it. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man, 4 receivers over 100 yards received.
And Jimmy Horn Jimmy Horn is Joe Horn's son, right?
What's funny is I think he is, but his last name is Junior.
Yeah.
So how can you be a junior if his name's Jim?
That's what I thought as well. I was thinking the same thing. But some people say it's Joe Horn's son. Then I'm like, when is Jimmy and Joe the same?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
The Joes. So
that's what I'm saying.
Next games is Nebraska. Now you remember Matt Rule. When Matt Rule took the Nebraska job, they asked him about what he was going to do in the transfer portal, and he said, "Oh, I don't get a kick out of swapping out my whole team." He was talking about Deion. Deion has already shown you he's sensitive. He got rabbit ears. He's going to
absolutely. Well, he also reads everything.
Yeah.
Oh, he reads newspaper clips. Oh, absolutely.
Next up, and then after Nebraska is Colorado State. So they should get to 3-0, and then they go to Oregon, and then the big-time matchup versus USC. The USC game might do Duke versus – the USC game might do Georgetown versus St. John's numbers. Like, it might be that kind of college event.
You're right, bro. You're right. Right. You're right. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's going to be huge. But wait. So you already got them beating Nebraska.
They can beat Nebraska.
No, anybody can beat it, but I'm just saying. So what I'm asking you is
the line move, Blaze. Before the look ahead number, right? Nebraska was a 9.5 point favorite. Now Nebraska's a 3-point dog.
Wow. 12-point swing?
A 12-point swing.
God.
But that scene is gonna be crazy, the home opener.
Ooh-wee. Matt Rule, we're gonna see what you got, Matt. You know, a little overrated to me, if you ask me, but I'm just saying.
Decent job in Carolina.
Huh?
He never got a quarterback in Carolina, but he rebuilt the roster.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they give this guy all this credit. He don't have,
exactly.
Yeah, he don't have no championships.
No, he doesn't. So, but listen, it's gonna be fun. They're gonna be a fun route all college football season. People are going to be keeping an eye on and checking up on what they have to do. You know what I'm saying? So. Right quick, your thoughts on Clemson and the terrible Labor Day loss that they had?
Trash. You told me that quarterback was good. He's off, but it's like he looked like he didn't even belong. You see what I'm saying? Like he was so inaccurate. And then he was scared to pull the trigger when it was time to go deep. Like when he had to throw in coverage, he was horrible. You know what I'm saying? Like he was making his living. He was making most of his living off, slant patterns and, cross patterns with the receiver already running. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. But that's Clemson for you, playing in that weak ass ACC. That's Clemson though. That's Clemson.
Like when you have Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence for like 6 years, it makes but now you don't. That other quarterback they had, DJ whatever his name is, trash.
He got off Saturday on Oregon State though.
And on Oregon State he did.
Sometimes you need to change the scenery, bro. So let's just wait. Sometimes you need to change the scenery, man.
He should have went to the USFL.
Okay, we'll see. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts was a slouch at Alabama, but he was a monster at Oklahoma.
Yeah,
he was tossing that rock at Oklahoma,
no doubt.
But he wasn't trash at Alabama though. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trash at. I
wasn't a big fan of his at Alabama.
Really? I don't think he was trash.
But they had to bench him in the championship game.
Yeah, they did. But he also came back and bailed him out the next year, right? And so.
I'm just saying it did happen. All right. So, okay. Now here's another thing. It's kind of like Gary Williams. When Gary Williams was at Maryland, right? The Prince George County is a basketball heaven. Yet Gary Williams didn't recruit players in Prince George's County because he was like, those are one and done players. Gary Williams win with players off the back of the scrap heap, right? When he did win. Kevin Durant famously said he never got a recruiting letter from the University of Maryland. and he was living right there in Capitol Heights. Right now, you see Gary Williams is without a job or whatever. He's done his time is gone. It's going to happen to Dabo. See, Dabo doesn't like NIL, and Dabo don't like the transfer portal. So Dabo don't play the transfer portal game. But that's why your quarterback sucks. Because you could have gotten that portal and got Sam Hartman. You know what I'm saying? You could have went in there and got
that's
him.
A good point.
Up the road in Wake Forest, and you could have had a quarterback. You see what I'm saying? So Dabo's going to have to. Dabo want to make all the money, please.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, man. That's a good point. Yeah, because that quarterback was awful last night. Yeah. He really was, man. I mean, the defense played as well as they could.
Yeah.
But I told you this before. A defense is eventually going to get tired, and not only get tired, believe it or not, man. Those guys go over to the sideline. They be like, man, we keep playing all this defense, man, and they keep going 3 and out. It's not that they're giving up.
They tired.
But the intensity ain't the same.
Yeah.
It's almost like, man, I ain't going over there to make that tackle, man. Let somebody else get it. Offense ain't gonna move the ball. That's just and listen, and right.
In the red zone, horrible game.
Horrible, bro. They were bad.
Yeah.
They were bad.
Worst quarterbacks this weekend out of the big ones. Your man Klubnik was bad. Jaden Daniels for LSU was bad, and I think I might have mentioned how terrible Spencer Rattler can be too.
Oh, that's your man, son.
Son, that's not my man.
He's
son.
But then you pick. Who would you pick last week?
I said Carolina would make a play on special teams. They did have the fake punt, right? I mean the fake kickoff, but their offense, son was sacked 9 times.
Rattler's bad.
He has no pocket instincts.
Right, yeah, he's bad. He was awful. He always looks spooked all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, he was awful. Yeah.
He can be a commander quarterback. Nice. If you
notice, man, all the shit you've been talking all about my team. You notice I always just look away. Man, listen, boy, this gonna be sweet. Boy, I'm gonna be Deion Sanders this year because I got the receipts, baby. I got the receipts.
Keep the receipts.
I got the receipts. Oh, I got them. Because you know what? You gonna believe. You gonna believe.
Make me a believer.
I will.
I said the Commanders are a playoff team this year. I'm
not
going to put them in the divisional round. I'm not
going
to
ladies and
put them
gentlemen,
in the NFC Championship game. Relax.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all hear this? He playing it safe. So that way, when we do pop off, he can say, "Well, I see a job, man. I ain't trying to hear that. It's either you with us or you ain't, bro. It's either you with us or you ain't."
Beat the Cowboys twice, then holler at me. All right?
Oh man, Cowboys. Nobody worrying about the Cowboys.
All right. Super Bowl handle, Blaze. Highest tickets to be the Super Bowl champion at 9%. We got 3 teams: the Bengals, the Eagles, and the Chiefs. The most money is the Bills. The biggest liability: the Steelers, Cowboys, and Lions. But the highest handle to be the Super Bowl champions coming into the season, the Buffalo Bills.
Why?
I don't know why people like this team. I don't like Josh Allen. Josh Allen is an AFC Dak Prescott.
Yeah, that's a good point. Wow, but the Bills? But you know what, man? They got a strong following, man. And their fans are loyal, man. Yeah, exactly. And their fans are loyal, man. Maybe their fans just think this is the year, man. Other than that, I don't really have an answer for that. Yeah. I definitely don't have an answer for that.
AFC conference, the favorites is the Chiefs. The highest ticket count is the Chiefs. The biggest handle is the Bills. The biggest liability is the Steelers. The Steelers another very strong fan base. But you notice the Steelers win total went up from 7.5 to 8.5.
I think I'll take the over on that.
Yeah, I think
I would.
Sneak peek when we do our picks later on this week. Mm-hmm. Steelers money line over San Francisco.
Ooh. Over Bosa and them boys?
Is Bosa going to be signed? Bosa and Chris Jones yet to report. So that's something that we'll get to later on this week. And the NFC, the favorite, the Eagles. The ticket handle, the Lions. The money handle, the Lions. the biggest liability to Lions. What the fuck do people see in the Lions that make them think they're gonna go to the goddamn Super Bowl, Blaze?
And you know what? I'll say this. I think for some reason I think the Lions defense is gonna be better this year.
They were better down the stretch last year.
And I'm gonna tell you, during preseason, I know it's just preseason, but I'm just saying they fly around, man. Like they fly around and hit you, and they kind of reminded me of Duke last night. Duke's defense played well last night, although we talked about Clemson's quarterback. Like Duke, they were hitting, they were popping last night.
Duke looked tough. They looked like a tough
they
team.
did, man. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something. Detroit, man. I think Detroit gonna fly around a lot. I think they're gonna be an athletic defense. I'm like you, like how you feel about the command. Huh?
Can Detroit win the NFC though?
We'll see, man. Listen, it's a lot of surprises going on right now. I don't know. There's a lot of surprises going on right now. And it might trickle over to the NFL, man. We'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know, man. But hey, like I said, I like Detroit. I'm probably not going. I'm not going to bet it, but I like Detroit with those points.
I bet. All right, let's get ready. Get Blaze out of here. Go enjoy your birthday.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
There'll be a link in the comment section for Underdog Fantasy. That's 100% deposit match. You hit that link. That's the way to support me and the homie Blaze.
Get paid.
Go ahead and get that done. No doubt about it. All right, so for my man Blaze, it's Corey Parson, the Fantasy Executive. Thanks to everybody for listening and subscribing. Appreciate your time a lot. We are out.
Peace.